And now we're ready to do the passenger missions. So let's have a look at them. They're in the passenger lounge. So here we go. So we're allied with these ones, but not with these two. So we're going to have to keep doing missions for them. Well, we're doing missions for everybody, but you know the only way we can get that one up to there is to keep doing them. So you get more money as you go along. Now these missions, the maximum is 5 million, about five and a little bit. So you're looking for the ones that sort of 4 and 5 first. There's one there. It goes in the big one. That's not so good. I've noticed that when you have two of the big cabins, they only ever offer you one of these missions, but when you only have one, there's always two. So you want the next highest one then. Well, I could just check these ones, make sure they're, just by chance giving you any higher. No, it's a 3 million one there, but so 3 million, 3.34, 3.4. Let's take that one. Oh, I think I put it in the wrong one. So 2.5. Did that other one go? Yeah, it was a big one. So 2.5. So that's 1 million, 1 million, 300,000. So we've got to do a couple of these to get them up. So always fill up the smallest cabin that you can, because sometimes they go in a smaller one. And my screen's just about to go off. So we've had it with those, so that just leaves that one. Pick cabin. So we're going to have empty cabin this time. Right, so that's it. So now we've got to do the missions. So if you open up your galaxy map, you'll see the mission marker on there. There it is at Sothis. Click that. So we're ready to go now. Where it says fuel gauge, at the moment it doesn't say illegal passengers, so we don't have to be too careful on this one. When it's illegal ones, that's when you get interdicted and scanned. Not always, or not very often, in fact. So lift up vertically, be careful not to, and when you go forward, see there's a lot of railing there. You don't want to hit that as you boost away. As soon as your mass lock is out, you can get your frame shift drive going. Seconds count, if you're doing it for, the money. I mean, you don't have to do it fast, but the faster you go, the more money you get. So I'm always looking to eliminate seconds. So I'll show you all the fast ways to do it. It takes about 12 minutes a trip. And so you can do 5 an hour. We'll see how much we get for the first one. So we don't need to worry about the fuel scooping. So just turn away from the planet. That makes sure your fuel scoop doesn't engage for so long, because you can't engage the frame shift drive while your fuel scoop is out. You'll overheat. You could if you drop a heat sink, I suppose, but you never know when you might need them. Because I have been interdicted 3 times and 3 attempted scans in one trip using a T6. It's the only time it happened. But last time I did this, I didn't get a single interdiction, and when I used my big ship, my other account, I didn't either. So just turn away from the star. I'm just honking these because I do it as a matter of course, but once we've done them once, we don't need to do that again. So when we get to Sothis, we don't know where the actual. We're going to Sothis Atmospherics. We don't know exactly where that is, but they give you a clue. They give you a marker on a navigation marker that you can go to, and when you get there, you'll see it the first time. But once you've found it once, it'll be on your nav panel for next time. So if we have a look over here, that unexplored one is where we want. It'll be marked in blue because it's a mission one. So just head for it. But the things that make the missions fail, you mustn't take any damage to your ship. I think it's when you get to 75% hull or less than 75%, the missions fail. And so you have to abandon them. But the problem with that is that you lose a lot of rep. So we're allied at the moment. It can knock you back to the next level, and then you don't get such high-paying missions. And if you do it again, well, you get knocked back further. So it's never good to fail missions in this. So that's one way. The second way is if they're the illegal passengers, they don't want to be scanned, and NPCs will be after you trying to scan you, so you have to avoid them. It's dead straightforward. I don't know whether it'll happen. I need to like, do it until I get one, and I'll show you. But last time I did it, no, I didn't get any interdictions at all. So blue zone. Right, once you get within 1,000 kilometers, light seconds, it's you can see it's Sothis Atmospherics on the nav panel I just did, and you can select it. So you want to keep away from that planet that's above at the top there now. So try and look around the other side. You'll see already it's slowed us down quite a bit. Look, if you look at the timer, it was on 7 seconds, now it's 15. So you can adjust the throttle and do that if you want to be active doing it. Now, a little bit of a trick here. You need to come in. Oops, sorry, I didn't select it. So, where's it gone? There it is there. So when you're within 1,000 light seconds, you can see it. So you'll see the marker there. The idea is to get the marker over the planet. So we're looping around from this side. It doesn't have to be like completely enveloping it, but yeah, anything about that far. And then fly towards it. And that's because otherwise the planet will slow you right down when you get close. So we can put the throttle in the blue zone now. And what you got to watch out for, when you drop out, there's going to be other big ships there. And if you're not careful, you're going to crash into them. And they always seem to navigate to try and, put themselves on a collision course. So you need to go to 0 throttle straight away as soon as you... Right, so drop out. 0 throttle. There you see all the ships. Just press the target button. You're already pointing at it. Look at that one there. See what I mean? So soon, open up the galaxy map. And now back to... we got the Robigo marker there, but normally you won't see it because I've waited too long on this one. So get your frame shift drive going. So what would happen normally if you do it really quick, you just have to find the spot where Robigo is and click it to navigate back to it. And then as soon as you've clicked on Robigo, close the galaxy map and press your frame shift drive regardless of anything, even if you haven't finished the scan, but just keep pointing at them, and while your frame shift drive's charging, the scan of the beacon will finish and your missions will all update as completed. Now all we've got to do is fly back. So again, we fly away from the stars. I was thinking there instead of doing, so I lost a few more seconds. I'm only honking this first time because it'll be the same route every time you do it. So I won't need to honk Robigo again because I've already done it. You can see we've gone well low on fuel. We've just had enough. Right. So when you open up the nav panel, Robigo Mines will be in blue, so you can just select it. Yeah, I did scoop a tiny bit of fuel as well, but the fuel scoop must take power. Oh, actually, there's some things we can do to save some power as well. I'll show you that while we're waiting. If you come on this side, you can take your cargo hatch offline because you don't need that. And with 4 pips to the engine, because we're never going to change anything, you can take your power distributor off. And now I'm going to take my fuel scoop off as well. At least I'll get a chance to test it. So that did save a bit of power. We need everything else. You should have enough fuel anyway. If you got the loadout that I've got right now. Going back to Robigo Mines again, we need to be careful of the rings. It's good if you always come in from the same angle because you learn where the landing pad is, so you can get to it quicker. But it does it does move round the planet. So there's the planet. I need to keep away from that now. See how close it is to the grey. If you come in from the wrong angle, you go through the grey and then you just crash. Oops. Gonna have to do the loop of shame. Wasn't concentrating. So single boost. So I think now the landing pad will be on the wrong side. Let's see. Yeah, it's on the other side now. So down thrust and boost. Same again. Until it comes into view. So just keep holding the down thrust all the time. So let go of it now and it'll just, the ship does take a bit to slow down. We're using the side thrust now. A bit at a time. That's it, now we can come in. So just stop there and let the docking computer do its thing. So that's quite quick because like if you're carrying the illegal passengers, there could be people chasing you. So at that point you drop as soon as you see scan detected, you drop a heat sink and carry on. Don't panic though. You just need to be careful not to crash into anything. Obviously that if you panic, you're going to mess up. So Starport services. Let's see how much we got. So we got 14 and a bit million. Passenger lounge. So with this top one, we just want the money. So just click the money. But for these ones, you want the rep. So when you click on that, the one that gives you the most reputation, that gives you 1, that gives you 3, that gives you 1. So that's the one we want. Don't worry about the money for that. It makes no difference. See, we're on to the next level now. That means you get higher paying missions. We need to get it up to there. So it's just rinse and repeat. What I'll do is let's just see if there's any illegal ones in this one. So start with the top one. Look, you're looking for the 4 and 5 million ones. Doesn't look like there are any. Just check these ones, make sure they haven't got any. I doubt that they will because we haven't got the rep yet. So there's a 3 million. Doesn't fit in that one, does it? No. And they've got to be to Sothis Atmospherics. Sorry, I didn't explain that. Right, now I do that one. So that's it. And what did we get? So we got 14, 12, about 12 million for that last trip. So 12 million, 5 trips an hour, that's 60 million an hour. Is that right? No, yeah, 60 million an hour if we carry on like that. So the missions do go up and down a bit. But only take the missions to Sothis Atmospherics. Don't take any other ones. It just messes you up. So often the higher paying ones as well are illegal passengers. So I'll carry on until I get some illegal ones and just show you what the difference is. And hopefully I'll get an interdiction to show you how to deal with it. Right, now I want to tell you something about interdictions. It's quite complicated. I did get some interdictions when I was doing it. And so rather than just show you what happened in those, because there's all sorts of different possibilities and outcomes, I want to talk to you about the general behavior in interdictions so you know what to look out for and basically what to do when it happens. So the first thing is, normally you would get a message in the top left of your screen, a comms box would pop up with a message like, for doing these passenger missions, something like "found you at last" or "now you're mine" or something like that. You know, if you're carrying cargo, it's here's here's my payday come, and I've been looking for you. Here's the ship I've been looking for with a big load on it. You know, stuff like that. So it's obviously a pirate's message. So when you see that message, you're going to see the interdictor at some point, nearly always. It's not 100%, but you're going to see him sometimes. So the first thing is he may interdict you. Second scenario is you drop out somewhere before he gets a chance, or you jump before he gets a chance. So if you're going to drop out at the station or the beacon, something like that, or any other point of interest, he'll drop out a few seconds after you, and another message will come out. I got you now, or anything like that, and he'll do whatever it is he plans to do. In the case of these passenger missions, he's going to try and scan you. If you're carrying cargo, you're going to want you to give him some of it, and if you try and run away, he'll shoot you. So um, I'm just going to deal with passenger missions now. The rest of it is for other things. It's logical. So um, he's going to try and scan you. So if you drop out anywhere, about maybe 5 or 6 seconds afterwards, there he is. Message comes up, or you're going to see him on the radar, and you'll get scan detected when it starts. So as I said before, drop the heatsink and carry on what you're doing. You'll have time to scan the beacon, get your frame shift drive going, and get out of there while the heatsink's still um, active. At the station, provided you follow my method and boost straight into the station, maybe boost twice, and then get your docking permission, and then go straight to the landing pad and let the docking computer do its thing to get you on the pad. You need to practice that, doing it fast without bashing into the station, because don't forget you got no shields. So you need to practice that to get right next to the landing pad and just let the docking computer drop you down. If you do it like that, you'll be pretty close to the landing pad by the time you get scan detected. So you can drop your heatsink. Don't panic, just carry on, land, and you should be okay. You've got about 10 seconds of heatsink. You can drop a second one if you start to mess up. So that'll break the scan again. Uh, so that's how you use the heat sinks and how you deal with the interdictors that drop out with you at any, when you drop out of Super Cruise. So if you're jumping from one system to another and he interdicts you at the star, uh, and you get away, you won't see him again. So if you change from one system to another, you leave him behind. But if you run away from him within a system, he's still there. He'll come after you again and try and interdict you a second time. So if he's interdicted you while you're running, while you're traveling to the station, and you get away, uh, he'll get you again. He'll drop out again when you drop out at the station. So then you've got to use a heat sink. So um, another thing about when he gets you at the star, this is very important as well. If you've got your frame shift drive charging, you've already allocated the fuel for the jump. And if you get pulled out of the Super Cruise by an interdictor while your frame shift is charging, you lose that fuel, and then you won't have enough for the return journey because you need all the fuel you've got. You'll see you run very close to running out each trip. So the way you get out of that is if anybody attempts to interdict you when your frame shift drive is charging, cancel the jump, then deal with the interdiction, and then get your frame shift drive going again. What that does, it cancels the fuel that you had allocated, so it puts it back in the tank. You can deal with the interdiction when you've dealt with the interdictor and is out the way. You can then get your frame shift drive going again and allocate the fuel again. So that's quite important. Right. So a normal interdiction would happen while you're running from the um, star to the station or the star to the beacon. So if he's just got you halfway there, interdiction starts. What you do, you play the mini game. That is, you chase the target that comes on your screen, just keep it in the middle, and you should win. It's pretty easy to win these days. Only if you can't control your ship would you lose. So if you're absolute beginner, you don't know what you're doing, that could happen. So always play the mini game, and that when you win, that it goes bang, and then you're back on your way again. The interdictor guy, the NPC, you've lost him. You won't see him again. Is out of it for these missions. It can happen in some other missions that you get multiple uh, uh, attempts because it's all planned into the mission. But with these ones, no, you'll only see them once. You win a mini game, that's it. You're free to go again. Dealt with it. Now, there's an exception to that. If they get you close to the planet, so you're just lining up for the final approach to the beacon, and they interdict you there, the target that you got to win for the interdiction will be straight in front of you, in line with the planet. And what will happen is you'll carry on flying while you're trying to win the interdiction, and you'll fly straight into the planet, and it'll go crash. But I'm pretty sure in that case, you're clear of the interdict. You'll lose 2% of your hull, but it's no problem. So just then got to wait, a whole I think it's about a minute for your frameshift drive to charge that up, cool down before you can get it going again. But what I would do just in case is continuously boost from the spot where you drop out, just in case the NPC is going to drop out at the same place. So by the time he drops out, you've moved off, then he's off your radar and he can't get you. So I would do that anyway. So that's if it happens directly in front of the planet. Um, Now, the next thing is the old way of doing it, which was pretty effective because up till about a year or so ago, it was very hard to win the interdiction mini game. They've changed it, make it a lot easier now. But when it was hard, the method was always to submit and boost. So what happened? The moment interdiction started, you go to zero throttle, you both drop out, and then what you do, the moment you drop out, you boost. Um, you wait for the scan detected, then you drop a heat sink, and by the time your frameshift drive's cooled down, uh, the heatsinks protected you, and you get your frameshift drive going again. So boost normally you boost a second time, and then you're on your way again. But the only problem with that is because you haven't lost him, he'll attempt to interdict you again. So you could get 3 interdictions on the way to the station. But it's a safe method. He can't get you like that. And the same when you get to the station, you boost in, scan detected when he drops out, drop your heat sink, carry on, land on the pad, and all's well and good. Uh, if at any time you take any damage, like when I said you crash into the planet, you lose 2% of your hull. You can't take any more missions until you repaired that. So when you get to the station, there is repair there. So just repair your hull. If you're wondering why you can't get any missions, they're all red. It's because you got damage to your hull. So just repair that. And while I'm on damage, if your hull gets knocked down more than 75% or more, you lose all the missions. They all fail. And what that does, it knocks back your reputation with the faction. So you've got to then build it all up again. So you won't be able to get such high value missions for a bit. So it's bad to get hull damage more than 75%. I don't know what the exact border is, but I know when it's 75%, you lose the missions, and I think if it's 80%, you don't. So it could be somewhere in between. So you have to be very careful when you're leaving the station not not to boost too soon. Get up a bit before you boost forward. Otherwise, you boost into the structure and you lose all your missions. So that's it for interdictions and damage and stuff. I hope you find that useful. I tried to record the things, but they came so quickly, it took me by surprise, and I didn't get a chance to hit the record button while I was dealing with it. So sorry about that.